Now, before you blame variance again, you need to fix these four bad habits that are quietly draining your edge every time you sit down at a six max table. And I've been playing six max for a very long time, and I want to start things off here with a classic mistake, which is playing too many hands out of position. Okay, just because it's six max doesn't mean you can loosen up everywhere. You know, early position still demands tighter ranges, meaning first or second to act. You want to be tight, right? If you're constantly playing marginal hands just to see the flop with, you're setting yourself up for tough spots. So really the fix here is to build kind of like a pre-flop plan for each position and stick to it. Don't let boredom dictate your VPIP, okay? All right, number two is autopiloting. And I think this autopiloting is kind of a funny way to put it, but let's say you open three tables and throw on some music, and 40 minutes later, you can't remember a single hand. Sound familiar? You know? So really the fix here is to reduce tables and just give focus. You know, even one session a week where you review every, key decision will help rewire your instincts and catch leaks. But I think two tables, guys, is kind of the sweet spot personally because I found that you could always, continue stacking tables, but the reality is players are better today. So, if you're playing bigger limits like mid stakes or whatever, it's not going to make a difference. I think two tables totally fine. Okay, let's talk about aggression. So in six max, aggression is higher. You're going to get raised on the turn, but if your default reaction is to go broke with top pair, that's a leak. And which kind of brings me into overvaluing one pair of hands, especially on coordinated boards. The thing here is, guys, sometimes you got to learn to fold top pair because it's not the nuts. Start reviewing your losing hands where you got stacked and ask, was there a clear sign that I was behind? I can think of some situations, and we might see some in this one, but, if you have top pair, but it's just such a draw-heavy board and you're getting raised, sometimes it's just better to let it go, especially if you're dealing with like an all-in situation. And the last thing here is ego. So this shows up as hero calls, revenge raises, or just refusing to fold just because this guy's always pushing me around. That's your ego talking, not logic. So, every decision should be made in a vacuum. Review hands without results and ask yourself, would I make the same play if I didn't know the outcome? Because the thing is, sometimes, you get in spots where you're letting your ego dictate your play and you just don't want to do that because then it leads to like emotional decisions that just don't, end up putting you in a good position, at the end of, your session. But here's the deal, guys. Those are some habits you could definitely fix. A lot of what it takes to get good at six max is repetition. So, constantly playing every week, putting in the volume, and you got to want to improve, right? I've said this before. Some people don't want to improve. Some people just want to play, which I totally get. Great entertainment value. But, at the end of the day, I think we all want to win. With that said, I also want to let you guys know we have an awesome community where you can talk to me one-on-one as well as some other high-level members. You can check out the pinned comment for that. Also, you guys could tap the like, and let's get right into this. And stick around to the end because we are going to have a, an all-in spot here where I don't want to give anything away. We're just going to break down some of these hands till we get to it. Any questions, comments, anything like that, you can message me below and I will get back to you. But, for the most part here, I was definitely like mixing up my play, but I was staying patient at the same time, throwing in some bluffs, trying to stay unpredictable at the table. You guys know how it is, you know what I'm saying? So here we go. All right, anyways, we'd had the 5-2 suited here. Definitely wasn't playing it. I guess maybe if I was on the button, I could have opened with it, but I wasn't. All right, so here we go. Player 4, take it down, sir. See if player 6 shows some resistance. Ooh, he does. Nice raise. Now, if we look at player 4, he didn't have a whole lot left. I wouldn't be surprised if he came over the top here. Let's see. It's like, I think this is like go over the top or just muck it. Nope, yeah, he went over the top. I like that play. I don't know what player 6 has. Player 6's play seemed a little bit bluffy to me, so that was a good play by player 4, kind of picking up on that. Now, if player 6 had an 8 right there, he's definitely kicking himself a little bit since there was an 8 on the turn, but you know, you never know. All right, 7-8, folded it. And like I said, for the most part, guys, staying pretty disciplined in this, staying patient, which is what you got to do sometimes. Ooh, player 4 going for a min here. All right, so we would have paired the 8. I think this board's definitely missing one of these guys for sure. I mean, you could see some ace king, ace queen type hands probably. I think player 4 is probably going to end up. I mean, I would end up just shoving here at this point, but let's see. All right, he goes for a small sizing. That looks pretty bluffy to me. Let's see if player 5 picks up on it. I actually like a raise here from player 5, like I said. But he let it go. I think that was a very weak play. Queen on the turn, though. Who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm right. We're not going to know. All right, here we go. King, queen suited. Looking very nice. I think player 5 is going to make a call here, and we are going to take it to the flop. All right, player 2 came along as well. Not a good flop for king, queen suited. I mean, that's not what we wanted to see at all. Come on now. That was not it. It's all good though. All right, so player 5, I would assume. Oh, actually, I mean, I'm hoping we can get to the turn here. Player 5 opening, puts out an 18-piece chicken nugget. Player 2 called, and I had to just let it go. Now, at least a king or queen didn't hit on the turn. You know, definitely a tough fold there, but a little bit easier because we have no draws, right? So no club draw. And player 5, man, look at him applying the pressure here. I have no idea what this guy's got. Maybe ace 3, maybe 5-4. I don't know. It definitely feels like something weird like that. It feels like 2 pair or a straight. I mean, I guess there's some sets in there too. Pocket 4s, pocket 5s, pocket ducks. Pocket ducks swimming in a pond. You know what I'm saying? All right, anyways, player 5 took it down. No idea what he had there at all. But we move on. All right, ace queen. All right, so king queen, we didn't get anything. Let's see if ace queen we can pick up the slack. You know what I'm saying? So all right, button raise here. This is definitely a re-raise. Let's see if I did. I'm pretty sure I did. All right, yeah, I did. He's going to make the call, and let's see what the flop brought us. Nothing. Not good. But I actually continued here. I like continuing because this flop is just not a good one, and, you know, don't know what he had, but our play worked. Turn card would have been a 6, so we got the job done there, and we'll take it. We'll take it, and we'll bake it in the oven. All right, king deuce, next hand. I think player 2 is going to put an open raise here. We're going to make a call and continue sticking around, guys, because, like I said, it's going to get good here pretty soon, for sure. All right, kind of check fold here. I didn't really think I wanted to continue with this. I'm not saying anybody has a 10 here, but at the same time, I'm okay mucking this. All right, yeah, I let it go. I think a part of me thought about raising this, but no reason to. I didn't want to get out of line either. I think too, let's say if you have a 10 there, you're probably slow playing it, so raising somebody right there doesn't make a lot of sense anyways. It looks bluffy, and I think all we could really do there was fold. All right, 6-3 suited. You know, kind of wanted to see a flop with it, but I let it go. Disciplined laydown. Not getting out of line, you know, not getting into those bad habits, you know what I'm saying? All right, Jack 4 suited. We will be protecting here if there is a raise. You could also argue re-raising this hand to kind of like mix things up. Still a bit unpredictable. But I just defended here with the Jack 4 suited. Nothing there. And now what's interesting is me and player 6 are going to be heads up in the next few hands. And this is where things are going to get interesting, okay? Now heads up, it's like, you know, it's tough in these games because you can't see the other person. So it's kind of like you're just going by math, basically. I mean, that's just all you can do. And this is the hand right here, guys. Yeah, hope you're ready for it. I think we had I think a queen 6 or a queen 7. Let me see, queen 7 maybe. Yeah, queen 7 suited. Totally a good hand to be playing heads up with. I could raise it, I could limp it, I could shrimp it, I could get some cocktail sauce, you know what I'm saying, whatever, and dip it. But I just limped here. Player 6, maybe put in a raise, but this flop was just something else. All right, no, we won't want check. I was assuming not a lot was going to happen with this because we hit top 2 pair, you know, so I went for just a min right here. Check this out. I think I just put a 5-piece down. Pretty sure I did. Let's see what he did here. Okay, he checked it. I assumed that, you know, I'm hoping he makes a call here with like, I don't know if he has a pair of 2s. Maybe he wants to just call us, keep us honest, go into the turn. But I didn't expect what was going to happen next, right? We're going to get raised here. And I was thinking to myself, like, what could you possibly be raising with? Like, maybe a flush draw? Would a flush draw raise here? Do you have a pair of queens, possibly, and you're just trying to get me off my hand? You know, I didn't know. And I just, like I said, I was just kind of like a little bit baffled here. I mean, we've got top 2 pair. We have nothing to worry about at this point. If he has a queen here, is he going to raise us or is he just going to call? Like, why are you going to raise? So it got me thinking here. I guess some possibilities is he's got the 7-2, you know, which would be a disaster for him. Could he have queen 2? I don't know. The raise really threw me off here. But I figured, you know what? If he's going to raise us here, why don't we just see if he makes this call? And I think I just went over the top here. I think I thought about it for a little bit, like just flatting. But if he's showing this much strength, maybe he does make this call and it works out for us. So that's what I'm going to do here. We are going to go for the click here. Now, a part of me was thinking he would just let this go, but he is going to make the call. And I think you guys, when you see what he's got, you're going to be like, wow, that's all I can say. He's going to think about it, I think, for not even that long. I don't think the clock even ran down that much. I'm curious, too, if you guys think that, are you making this call, too? He's going to turn over the queen deuce. All right, so he's not dead. He needs a heart. There was a heart on the turn, so now we have to dodge a heart and a 2 going to the river. Let's see if our hand holds up. Looks like he had a 32% chance to take us down, but guess what? He didn't, and we just took down a nice one right there. And I wouldn't really say that was a cooler situation. I think that was probably going to be a really hard fold for him, you know, honestly. But kind of bringing it all home for you guys. There's a lot of nuance to playing, getting better, you know, all the stuff that you need to constantly be working on week in and week out. You know, get in the community. Like I said, it's awesome in the pinned comment. You know, if you're watching this, haven't subscribed yet, please do. Tap the like, guys, and we will see you in the next one.